So do you also use Zendesk for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create Zendesk user on Wix Forms submission. So with here I'm a customer support manager of a company, and we use Wix Forms to collect the inquiries and the feedbacks of our customers. Also we use Zendesk to manage the support tickets. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive a new form submission from a Wix form, automatically with the help of the same form submission details, a new user should be created in my Zendesk account too. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Wix Forms and Zendesk. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'll show you how to automatically create a Zendesk user whenever someone submits a Wix form. Alright, so by connecting your Wix form with Zendesk using Pabbly Connect, every new form submission will instantly create a user profile in your Zendesk account. This saves time and ensures that user information is accurately captured for efficient processing. So let's get started with a really simple example. So let's say that my name is test user and I'm going to fill in this form. Alright, so you can see the query message, the phone, email and the name I've written, and now I'm just going to click on this submit. And yes, you can see thanks, we have received your submission. So yes, with this we have successfully submitted this form, and now I'm just going to open my Zendesk account. We're going to go towards the left side of the bar towards the customer. And yes, you can see a new customer has been created. You can see the same name which we entered, which was test user, and you can notice that the same email which we entered, which is test@pabblytunes.com, right? So this is the automation we are going to learn in today's video, and if you also want to create this automation for your business, then you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in, and as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly, but in today's video we are going to use it as Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, right, which is Wix Forms and Zendesk. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create Zendesk user on Wix Forms submission, Wix Forms to Zendesk, and then we are going to click on create, and as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. Alright, trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the one who is going to give the commands to our workflow, and the actions are going to respond towards the same commands given by our trigger. So therefore we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. Alright, so today what I want is I want to create a Zendesk user on Wix Forms submission. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Wix Forms. So I'm just going to search for Wix Forms right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it, and now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, my workflow should be triggered or started. So I'm just going to select the same as my trigger event, and as soon as we're going to do so, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're just going to copy this webhook URL and follow this help text in order to create a connection between our Wix Forms account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Alright, so it is saying log into your Wix Form account and go to the automation in your site dashboard. click add new automation or select an existing, provide the name to your automation, select Wix form option from choose an app and the trigger field. Alright, so we're going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Wix account, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards the automations, and after coming on over here towards the automations, we have to click on this button which says add new automation, and then we have to click on this blue button once again which says start from scratch. And now it is asking me to choose a trigger. So over here we have to select the trigger as Wix Forms. And now it is saying select a trigger. So we have selected it as Wix Forms. And now we have to select it as form submitted right over here. And now it is saying select which form triggers this automation. So I'm just going to keep it as any right over here. If you wish, you can definitely specify the form too. Now it is saying limit frequency 2. So I don't want to limit it. So I've just kept it this. Don't limit trigger every time. Alright, we're going to move on towards the action. So for my action, we are going to select it as send via webhook. Now you can see request type is post and the payload type is JSON. Alright, so now it is asking me for the target URL. So we're just going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, which was our webhook URL, and click on this activate button right over here. And now it is saying to give a clear name. So over here I'm just going to keep it as new user. Alright, so now after entering this name, I'm just going to click on this submit. And as soon as we're going to click on this submit right over here, yes, you can see your new automation is now active. With this we have successfully created this, and now with this we have successfully created a connection between our Wix Forms and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we have to do is I'm just going to open my form once again, and we are going to do the test submission with the new details. So let's say that for the first name I'm going to keep it as demo, last name as user only. Let's say for the email I'm going to keep it as demo@pabblytunes.com. So I'm just going to enter it right over here. And now for the phone number, let's say that I'm just going to keep it as this. We are going to move on forward. For the query message, I want the message to be this, which says I'm currently using the starter plan but I like to upgrade, alright, to the professional plan. Could you provide me the details? So yes, you can see that we have successfully entered all of these details, and now I'm just going to click on this submit. And as soon as we're going to click on this submit right over here, with this we have successfully submitted this form. And now what has happened is that Wix Forms has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see all the details which we entered. You can see the same phone number over here. You can see the query message which we entered. Alright, over here you can see the email which we entered, and you can see the first name and the last name which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Wix Forms, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered, and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. Alright, so we're going to move on forward. What I want is I want to create Zendesk user on Wix Forms submission, right? So for my action application, I'm just going to select it as Zendesk. So I'm just going to search for Zendesk right over here, and as you can see Zendesk, so we are going to select it. And after selecting this, we have to move on towards the action event. So for my action event, I'm just going to select it as create user and click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Zendesk account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on the select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the username, the API token, and the subdomain. Alright, so I'm just going to enter my Zendesk username right over here. So yes, you can see that this is my Zendesk username, so I've entered it right over here. But as you can see that in the notes it is saying enter your email address as the username and add the suffix, which is the token, which is that we have to add /token right over here in order to complete this username. Alright, so as you can see that we have successfully entered the email address, and then we have added /token. Alright, you can see the example to the email address /token. Alright, we're going to move on forward towards the API token, and to get this API token we are going to follow the help text. It is saying admin centers, apps and integration, APIs, and then Zendesk API. Okay, we are going to follow the same first I'm just going to open my Zendesk account, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards the settings, and after coming over here towards the settings, you can see support settings are in admin center. So we have to go towards the admin center. Right from here you can see there's a hyperlink, all right, and after coming on over here towards the admin center, once again we have to go towards the left side of the bar, apps and integration. We're going to scroll and look for APIs, and yes, you can see Zendesk API, so you have to go towards this. And now over here you can see the two API tokens, but I'm going to create a new. For that I'm just going to click on add API token right over here, and now it is asking me for the token description. So let's see that for the token description I'm just going to keep it as new user, all right. Now after entering this over here you can see that this is the API token. So first I'm just going to copy it right from here, and then we have to click on this save. Yes, you can see that we have successfully added this API, and over here we are just going to paste the API token. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the subdomain, and to get this subdomain we have to look for the URL of our Zendesk account. And as you can see that after https / and before .zendesk.com is our subdomain, which is this education 7292. So I'm just going to copy this right from here, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow, all right. So you have to keep in mind that the Zendesk subdomain is here, which is after https / and before .zendesk.com, all right. So now after entering all of these details I'm just going to click on this save, and as soon as we're going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Zendesk account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the username, all right. So it is asking me for the name by which we are going to create a user. So here you can see that we have received the name right over here, which is demo user, right. So we have to create a new user with the same name only. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter that same name right over here in the name section of our Zendesk action step, but we are not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping, right? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Wix Forms as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received, all right. So let's say that I'm going to explain you mapping with a really simple example. So let's say that for the name I'm just going to enter the name right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I have entered it manually. But let's say that we're going to map this from the previous response. So I'm just going to erase this name right from here and map it from the previous response. So I'm just going to look for name in the previous response, and as you can see demo user. So let's say that we're going to map this from the previous response. We are going to map the first name, put a space, and then the last name. Then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And as we mapped the name, we are going to map the email address too. So I'm just going to look for email in the previous response, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. It is asking for the details, nodes. So as you can see, both of these are not the required field. I'm just going to leave it as blank and map the phone number. So I'm just going to look for phone, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. Once again, we are going to ignore this tags because this is not the required field. Over here for the role, I'm just going to select it as end user, and then for the organization, I'm just going to select it as education. As you can see, it is asking me for another details. So once again, no the required details, I'm just going to leave it as blank. If you wish, you can definitely fill out the not required details too, but I don't wish to fill it out, and directly I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on the save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. We have received this user ID. So yes, with this we have successfully created a new user in our Zendesk account with the same details which we received from our Wix Forms submission. So to check this, I'm just going to open my Zendesk account, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards the customers, and after coming towards the customers we have to refresh this customers page in order to check for a new customer created, all right. And yes, you can see the new customer created. You can see the same name which we entered and the same email which we entered, which is demo@pabblytudes.com. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what will happen is that as soon as the new form submission is made in my Wix Forms, automatically with the help of the same details, a new user would be created in my Zendesk account too. That too without any manual effort. efforts. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on this save and send test request. This is going to run in backend and we can just sit back and relax. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.